Welcome to the Animal Turn, Krithika and Gim. It's really delightful to have you on, and it's cool. This is the first time I'm launching a season with two people, so that's that's very very fun. But something you guys have both mentioned at one point is kind of colonial histories and the ways in which colonization has shaped multi-species relations in India, particularly human-dog relations. And it seems like it's a key part of your project is like a decolonial approach to how we think about health and how we think about human animal relationships. Could you maybe walk me through that a little bit? What does that mean?
We're using a very broad understanding of decolonial here. And so it's not just about colonial relations, but about looking at power structures in society and within knowledge, which and including power structures such as anthropocentrism, right? So it's not just about relations between Britain and India and so on and so forth. So,
Mm,
how do we approach this question of health at the people dog interface or multi species health in a truly decolonial sense? So, part of it would be about looking at how we've come to where we are currently, and which has a very specific particular colonial history, because dogs were framed as a public health problem during the colonial period. So it has a history in the kind of conventional colonial sense. But then there's also other kinds of decolonizing, right? Like it's about where who the experts are. Just is it just public health actors and policy actors? Is it lay people? Is it the dogs themselves, right? They could also be what they have to say about their well-being and their health. um in a, so for example, you were saying earlier that, like, how we include also matters, right? It's not
mm,
just them being included in law, and what is a law say about dogs health. So the current law in India about dogs allows municipal authorities to catch them for neutering and vaccination, right? Now, if you were to kind of really ask this question of what is good for a dog from in a kind of really decolonial way, and ask the dog, you know himself or herself, you find that they would actually say that, because if you go and watch a dog being caught, you'll see that the dog is saying very clearly that the dog doesn't want to be caught and
mm,
sent for neutering, right? So then this question of, like, so if you were to take a really decolonial approach to multi-species health, then it would call into question what is now seen as gold standard in animal welfare, or so on and so forth. If you're actually asking the if you're treating dogs as an expert, and how they are communicating in the moment during the interaction, which we don't currently.
mm.
So there are different ways in which the framework of the decolonial could be applied, and I'm sure we're not thinking of all the different ways it could be done, and that's a sort of like ongoing process of discovery. But yeah, that is our very broad understanding of decolonial.